Glenn Shelton is sending me a bunch of leads from Lead Heroes. And every time those leads come into my CRM and they land inside of my contacts, they're getting tagged with the word Lead Heroes so that I can know where they're coming from. So what I can tell the system is I say, hey, for a trigger, for a workflow trigger, a trigger is basically what's going to wake up this workflow and bring somebody into it. Let's say that whenever a contact tag is added, we'll say specifically the contact tag Lead Heroes. Whenever the contact tag Lead Heroes is attached, let's go ahead and bring that person into this automation. And I'll name the tag here so I can see it on my step. Contact tag Lead Heroes. So now it's set up so that whenever new leads start coming in that have that tag Lead Heroes, it will automatically get brought into this automation without you doing anything. It'll create the opportunity card. It'll assign the contact to you. It'll send you an internal notification that a new lead from Glenn has just come in. It'll send out the email to the lead. It'll wait 2 minutes and then send out a text message and then just continue going on down the line so that this stuff is going to work for you on your behalf. And as I said before, if a bunch of leads were to come in and start doing this, imagine it's making you seem more accessible because it's making you do more than what you could do on your own. And so that's a simple workflow that I just wanted to build out for you guys and show you how it works. Now, let's go look at a couple more things because I got about 10 more minutes and I want to put this all together for you. So let's head over to the opportunity or to the contact section. And I have my own little smart list that's for Lead Heroes. Now, this is real data, so it is blurred. I apologize. Don't think that there's something wrong with your screen. It is blurred. But the idea here is that these contacts, these leads that you see here, these different contacts coming in, they're coming in from Lead Heroes. As you can see over here, they were tagged with Lead Heroes. And so normally, had that workflow already been built before these leads came in, then they would automatically already go into the workflow. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you the second way that you can send leads into a workflow. And that is by doing exactly what I did. I have my list of people. I'm going to select them all. I'm going to come over to where it says add to campaign workflow. I'll choose that, hit OK. I'm going to go and look for my T65 demo workflow. There it is. I'm going to add them all at once. Here you can put whatever you want in terms of, I normally put a date, but I'm going to go ahead and click add to campaign. So I've just added these 6 people to my campaign that we just built together. And I want to show you some of the stuff it does. I explained what it's going to do, but we'll wait a little bit and you'll start seeing some of the things it does. So as I mentioned before, one of the first things we wanted to do was to create opportunity cards for these leads. So as you can see, last activity is changing to right now for anything that is basically getting sent into the workflow and popping off. And so if I were to refresh my CRM, and then it should all of them now at this point say that last activity right now, okay? So let's hop over to the opportunities view. This is another view that we have in the CRM where our pipelines reside. So I'm gonna hop over here. And as you can see, I have my opportunity cards. So as I mentioned, when we were building the automation, we want to be able to have a pipeline of stages that we can work our leads through. We want to be able to assign a dollar value. As you can see, $400 assigned to these new leads that are coming in. So we want to be able to assign a dollar value because to me, and I don't know about you, but to me, it's incredibly motivated when my system is saying, hey, because of all these leads that you have coming in, you have $20,000 worth of potential in your CRM right now. Let's go to work. Because if we go to work and start trying to get in touch with these people and start trying to get sales with these people, well, that potential revenue becomes actual revenue. And that's the whole name of the game. We're trying to grow a business. So one thing that I want to point out that I think is very specifically or very important for you to notate is that the intention of automation is not to actually replace you and make sales for you. The intention of the automation is to help you get in contact with more people. So that means that on top of the emails and the text messages, the ringless voicemails that are going out, you also should be making outbound calls alongside your automation. So when those notifications are coming in saying that you got a new lead, you should be jumping in the system fairly shortly after that lead notification and start trying to contact them yourself, right? And that way, when you have your list here, you can start making calls just by clicking the phone button. You'll start making calls. And if I'm talking to this person here and I get them on the phone and they say, hey, Eric, I definitely want to get that information, but let's set an appointment. I'm going to be available Thursday at 4 p.m. I can come in here and I can say, great, I'm going to go ahead and book an update in my appointment for you. And I'll put Thursday at 4 p.m., right? So we'll select first our we'll call this one joining Medicare consultation since they're T65 leads. And we'll go ahead and book the date and time. So they said Thursday at 4 p.m. Okay, meeting location, we'll call that phone, and then appointment title, T65 intro. Hit save. I've now just booked an appointment with this lead. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to say, instead of being under the new lead column, I'll move them to appointment booked, right? And so you see that, and you also see 3 buttons that popped up at the bottom: lost, abandoned, won. So the reason those show up is because the view we're looking at right now is called the open view. And this open view is designed so that we're only looking at leads that need to still be worked, right? If a lead no longer needs to be worked, then let's disposition it as one of these 3. We could disposition it as lost. And if we do lost, we do that because somebody told us to kick rocks, they don't want to work with us, or they don't qualify due to underwriting. We could choose abandoned. Abandoned is when we're actually done working a lead because we've exhausted our call contact attempts, which, by the way, at minimum should be 8 call contact attempts. Right now, I believe over 80% of the industry only calls on a lead 2 times and they're done. You're literally setting your money on fire. So if you're instead upping your game to reaching out and trying to call these people up to 8 times before you give up, then you're actually doing a good job working your leads. So abandoned would be for people you exhaust in terms of making all the calls you can and the automation is exhausted. And won is obviously because we won the sale. So this is why we create that opportunity card step, so that we can work it through our pipeline and make sure that we're keeping track of everything we are doing. We are heroes tonight.